Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first official episode of the therobotspa podcast. I am super excited to start this project. I have been thinking about it for a while, but have been kind of unsure about how I wanted to do it, how I wanted to go about it. I'm using an actual microphone today, believe it or not. I know my audio is almost always atrocious in my videos. I apologize. It's because I'm moving around. It's because robots make a lot of noise. But as you can tell, there's no distractions this time. It's just my voice and the babies who are being incredibly rambunctious but are not insanely loud. So, the plan is I normally want to have sort of themes for these podcasts, but for the first time I'm not, because I asked you guys to ask me stuff, and there were so many questions that I think we're just going to have a Q&A type podcast this time. Now, I do want to kind of always have that be a part of it. I think that would be really cool to have like mainly questions and answers, because you guys always ask a lot of really good questions in the comments, and I feel like I'm never able to answer all of them. So I think this would be a cool way for me to just like interact with you guys a little bit more, and also just to have some fun robot times. So in regards to the background that's currently happening, I have Suzy and Matcha currently running around. And it was harder than I thought to get this set up. I am voicing over this currently, because if I were to try and do it live with them running, it would just be absolute mayhem. There would be so much noise. So this was filmed beforehand, and it's dark, and there's the flashy lights. For those of you who are just listening, there's the minnow lights that I unboxed in my Christmas video. I had thought, when I had pictured this, I had thought about just having them in front of like a big window and like city lights in the background, and I thought that would be so cool and aesthetic. Obviously, I don't live anywhere where that is feasible, so maybe at some point I could get like a green screen and still have my vision come through. But for now, this is it. This is the setup. I don't know if I'm going to do like a different location for each podcast, or if I'm going to have this be sort of my main setup. I don't know if that would get boring after a while. That's why I think a green screen would be cool eventually. But I also don't really have a lot of space to put up a green screen, but I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Let me know if you'd rather have this sort of be the standard, or if you'd want different locations. This was kind of the easiest for me to set up, just because I could kind of monitor them. They were being so rambunctious when I was filming this. It was absolutely ridiculous. But they were just, Suzy tries to knock over the camera a couple times. It's a lot. But for the actual sort of what's going on right here, if you guys have ever seen Fish Center Live, it's an Adult Swim show, and sort of the backdrop, it's a live show, but the backdrop is sort of this like fish tank, and they like play games with the fish. They like put things on the screen and have them sort of collect coins and all this kind of fun stuff, and meanwhile they're taking calls and stuff like that. So that's kind of the vibe that I'm going for. I don't really know. Right now the bots are just kind of on, they're just kind of running, just kind of hanging around. I do want to incorporate maybe like a soccer aspect to it. This is the first episode, so I'm open to ideas, what you guys think. If you've seen Fish Center Live, if you know what I'm talking about, then maybe you could give me some sort of tips. But until then, I asked you guys to ask me things on various social media. I also want you guys to leave me some comments I almost said in the description, but that doesn't make any sense. I'm not used to these like long uncut videos. It's a very weird format for me, so bear with me while I sort of get used to it. And also because it's just me talking to you. I'm not, I feel like usually, at least with the podcast I listen to, there's other people that they're sort of having conversations with, but it's just me. So forgive me if I get a little sidetracked, if I do a little ramble damble here, if I mix up my words every once in a while, I apologize, but I'm trying my best. So, let's get started. I asked you guys to ask me things on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram, but like I said, I also want you guys to ask me things in the YouTube comments as well, so you don't have to follow me on these other things if you don't want to. Suzy is on the move right now. She is going. But yeah, let's get started. So, I'm going to start with my Twitter and my Tumblr because there were not a lot of questions on there, and then we're going to finish up with Instagram because there was a lot of questions on Instagram. So, car just went by. I don't know if you could hear that. Suzy is off screen. She is making her way downtown. So, as you can see, I do have to reset them every once in a while because I feel like the most difficult part of this was just getting them to stay in frame. And here comes Suzy. Here she comes. Oh, shit. Oh, there she is. Just right there. All right, let's get started. So our first question is from Angel at AngelVayu on Twitter. And she says, "Hi, I have a bunch of questions for you. What are your next robot custom ideas? Furby, Aibo, Pleo, etc. What artists you like to hear this month? What do you plan to do on your YouTube channel this year? And how your comic project is going?" Thank you, Angel, for your questions. I figured this was a good place to start because we got a bunch and we have a bunch of stuff that's going on. So let's start with the first one. What your next robot custom ideas are. Now, everyone wants me to do Furby customs, and I do too. I quite like them, but since Furbies have gotten more popular lately, just on the internet and in general, it's been so difficult for me to find actually reasonably priced ones because I do resell most of them. So I haven't really gotten the chance to do a lot of those, but I am planning on customizing my 2005 Furby that I unboxed a while ago. And for your information, their name is Chapstick. I wanted to make a video where I announced their name and did all this, but I just didn't end up doing it. So their name is Chapstick. It was in the comments, and I found it so hilarious. So their name is Chapstick because they have a little chap beak, and I thought that was super funny. So I'm going to customize them. I'm gonna take off their fur because they have the black 2005 Emotronic Furby fur, and to be honest, it's kind of puby. It's really not that nice to touch. It's just this black matted thing. So I've been thinking about what colors I wanted to do. I know the peach 2005 Furby is a really rare sort of color combination, and I thought that would be cool to kind of try to recreate. I am gonna do long Furby eventually. It's just I'm gonna do it. It's just taking me a while. We're having some collision on screen right now. Suzy and Matcha are having a little bit of trouble. Suzy is just ran into Sunday. There she goes. She's turning around. All right, we're all set. But that's sort of the plan. I'm currently working on the Pepsi Aibo, which is the 111 that I recently unboxed for Vlogmas, and I'm still working on the Pearl one. I'm almost done. I'm so close. They're pretty much finished, but it's just I want them to be perfect because I'm a perfectionist, and the back door where you open the battery compartment is a little bit chunky with the paint, so it doesn't open very smoothly, and I kind of want to see if I can get it to open more smoothly because I want whoever buys it from me to have the best time with them. But they're very pretty. I really like how they came out. So those are sort of the projects that I'm currently working on. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do next. Oh, and I am doing a custom Super Poochie currently. They've kind of been on hold because I don't really know how I feel about it right now, but they're like a pastel pink with some shimmer, and then I wanted to paint some like jelly bean designs on them. So I have a lot of projects sort of in the works, not really a lot of new projects that are happening, but that's kind of what's going on with customs. I always like to hear from you guys what you'd like to see in regards to customs, because a lot of the customs that I've done, I've just kind of been like browsing Botblr on Tumblr, and I'm like, that's a cool idea. So like that's where the Galaxy Aibo idea came from. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. What artist you like to hear this month? That's really interesting. I kind of just like jump back and forth. Like, I'm the type of person where I'll find a song and listen to it on repeat for like days and days and days. So that's kind of been what I've been doing lately. And I want to see if I can really quickly pull this up. I didn't realize that I couldn't have my phone next to the mic because it makes this like nasty clicking sound. So I apologize if you hear a little bit of clicking in the background for a quick second while I find the artist. But Zaini, Zaini on SoundCloud. Can You Hear My Voice? I've been listening to on repeat. Dayfox, Smoker's Delight, also on SoundCloud. Been listening to just like crazy. And Supapau, who is really an amazing artist, also on SoundCloud. I browse SoundCloud basically, and I just kind of go to like what's like this and what's like that and try and see if I can find anybody. And Supapau is really good. Lounge in the Paradise is a really good one. And I'm always surprised. Like, I feel like you need more views, fam, or listens, or whatever it is, because you're so good. So check them out. They're really amazing. That's SUPAPAO. And they do some really cool stuff. So that's kind of what I've been listening to this month. And regards to my YouTube channel, I want to do a lot of things. I want to do a lot more project videos, so I want to sort of figure out how I can show you guys how I work on my customs without them being like hours long, because that's really sort of my standstill. Is I want to do all these custom videos, but they just take me so long, and I feel like it would just be like time lapses, but I also just really want to do it. I think it would be really fun. I think that's something that people would be interested in. So I want to do more project videos. I want to do more sort of series. So I want to do more cooking with matcha. I haven't really been able to do a lot of them because I have to do them when no one's home, because I drive everyone nuts when I film them because I'm just really loud. But I want to do more of them because all of y'all really like them, and I've only done a few, and I've only really made like cookies. But you guys have been leaving some really awesome suggestions for like things to do for cooking with matcha videos, and I want to try them. One of you suggested doing like a bento box. I think that would be really cool. I just have to like get ingredients and get myself set up, but I do want to do more of those. I'm really hoping that this podcast is something you guys enjoy, because it's just like, I want to do more of those if you like them. I think it would be really fun to just sort of connect with you guys more, have some question and answer sessions. And then your last question is how your comic project is going. It's going really well. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with how it's going. It's really going very well. For those of you who are new here, for those of you who just aren't in the loop, I am an illustrator, specifically a comic artist, and I have a comic currently going on Webtoon and Tapastic called Secrets at Black Point. I don't really advertise it here too much because it is very different from the type of content that I do here, which is sort of happy-go-lucky robot stuff, life stuff. And it's very intense. It's a thriller. So it's very intense. There's some blood and guts and intensity. So, but it's been going really well, and people have been leaving such good comments lately. I've been so happy because for a long time, and like I appreciate these comments obviously, but most of the comments were just like, "This is good. I love this webtoon. This is good. I like the boy," and like, "Wow, I'm gay." And like I appreciate those comments. They're funny. They make me happy. But there have been people who have been like analyzing things and like leaving predictions and like what they think, and I'm like, oh, I can't confirm or deny anything, but I'm so happy that you're like thinking about that, and like, oh my god. I'm so happy it's going well. And also I've like finally, it's been a year and I've like finally gotten past the intro, so I'm so happy about that. I'm really excited for where it's going. Things are picking up, and oh, I love the boys. I love them so much. I'll leave some links in the description if you guys want to check it out and read it, but keep in mind it's very different from what this content is. It's a thriller. It's very gay. There's a lot of mentions of like abuse and stuff in it. So if that kind of thing is triggering for you, that might not be the comic for you, but it's very fun. It's super intense, and I'm just really happy with how it's going. All right. Well, thank you, Angel, for your great starter question with all of your questions. I'm gonna move on to Aaron at Odyssey. I talk to you frequently, but I don't. Did you change your username? Did you change it? Odyssey. And they asked your thoughts on 5G, which I had to look up because I didn't know, so I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it. I'm assuming you're referring to the new sort of phone service thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have like a 3G phone, so like I really don't have a lot of thoughts on it. Oh boy, here comes Suzy. Here she comes again. Oh my lord. There she is. Hello, sweet girl. So yeah, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it. I don't really have an opinion on it because, I mean, I have 3 phones currently. One of them I just use for video. I have 2 Samsung Galaxy S7s. One of them I just use for recording my videos because I really love the camera. The other one is my like actual main phone, but the battery really sucks. So I'm thinking about buying a new battery and replacing it. But you know, it's a really nice phone. I really like it. It's just the battery life is not the best. And then I have an iPhone 6 where the screen is just smashed all heck, but I still use it for like podcasts and music and stuff. And that was my last phone, which I upgraded from Suzy. Oh my god. And I upgraded from it because it was very glitchy. And now that I don't use it as an actual phone, it works fine, which I'm like angry about. But you know, oh, here I come. That me putting her back in the frame. There she go. Woo! And yeah, so I still use it for music and like podcasts and stuff. But basically what the glitch was is like whenever I would switch an apps, the battery would drain, and I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. It's so frustrating because like basically if I used one app all day, I'm fine. So if I open Spotify and I use Spotify all day, that's fine. But if I want to use Spotify and Snapchat and I switch back and forth a couple times, battery dead. So, and I'd replaced the battery before, so it wasn't the battery problem. The battery lasts all day if I only use one app. But like the second I switch apps, it like turns off. So I ended up upgrading, and I really like the Samsung Galaxy S7, but the battery also kind of sucks. So I'm probably gonna replace that eventually. But yeah, 5G, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it. I have a lot of phones. They're all pretty old phones. So, all right, next question on Twitter is Garbage Can at Cole Carson 123 ask, what's the funniest, scariest, most ridiculous conspiracy theory you've heard? Now, I feel like I watch a lot of like conspiracy theory, like, podcast type of things. Like, I watch the Jen and Julian podcast, and I do check out sort of their conspiracy theory podcast every once in a while, and Shane Dawson, his conspiracy theory videos. And the thing is, I feel like I simultaneously am open to like all of them, but also don't really believe any of them. Like I just can't go for any like the crazy ones. I love listening to what people think about them. Like, I know a while ago Shane did one where he was interviewing his brother and talking about the flat earth theory, and it's like it's stupid and there's the flat earth, whatever, but it's really interesting to listen to, like, from his brother is such, like, sounds like a really intelligent person. The way he sort of just thought about it was really interesting, even though even he isn't, like, you know, the earth isn't actually flat. It's just like the theology and the ideas behind it, and, you know, like the government and stuff. And I mean, the only ones that I'm really kind of for are like the government ones. I'm really into that. I was literally looking up like MK Ultra documentaries the other day. I'm just like really interested in that stuff, but that's not really a conspiracy theory because that like actually happened. But it just makes you think, like, what other kind of shit is the government up to? What are they doing? I mean, I live in the US. Everything's a mess right now. I don't want to get political, but like, what is happening? What on earth is happening? Suzy just she just ran into the bed and had a little oopsie right there. She's waking back up. I'm pretty sure I had to do this twice because she was just like not having it. Matcha's singing a song. It's singing time. But yeah, I mean, I feel like even though I watch like a lot of that sort of content, I don't really follow it. I don't really have any like cool theories to tell you. I feel like that would be something that I could like look up and research and would be cool to do, like maybe for a future podcast. But it's so hard to just like look up conspiracy theories, which is a conspiracy theory in and of itself. Like, why is it so hard to find things unless like you follow these people? Like, it's very weird. But Suzy is having a little bit of trouble, so I had to do this a couple times with her. But yeah, I mean, maybe in the future I could look into a little bit more, find some sort of ridiculous ones. But I don't really know. All right, I'm gonna move on to Tumblr, and we just have one question on Tumblr. It's weird because Tumblr, I feel like, has the most followers in my social media, but it's also the most inactive. Like, nobody's really on Tumblr. I mean, especially after that whole ordeal with Tumblr. Tumblr's been just a mess. There've been, what's the word? I mean, they've been going after some of my posts, but they're not even like bad posts. Like, they're like posts of matcha, and it's like, I don't understand what's happening. But Eve Volley 03 asks, what's your favorite Aibo color design? Spring, orange, suede, etc. Oh my god, the Everest White Aibo ERS 210 is by far my favorite of like the special color editions. They're just so pretty. Oh my god. It's just, if I can ever find one of them reasonably priced, I'm gonna get one, because they're just like, they're my dream bot that's like actually affordable. And they're like a white, right? They're a white Aibo, white 210, but they have like a pink undertone to it, and like, but it's very subtle, it's very smooth, it looks just so nice. And yeah, that's my favorite Aibo color combination. All right, now we're gonna move on to the Instagram. Y'all went crazy on Instagram, so we're just gonna hop right into it. The first couple questions are about Suzy, but she's off screen right now. Don't know what she's doing. Gonna have to wait and see when she comes back up. But Bygone Reverence asked 2 questions, and both of which are about Suzy. And they ask, what happened to Suzy's turquoise ears and tail? I just painted over them, fam. Every once in a while, I just paint them again. The blue was kind of like peeling off, and also I just wasn't that crazy about it. I had them like a pastel blue, which I really liked, but that paint didn't work too well, so I had switched to a more bright blue, but I didn't really care for it too much, so I recently switched back over to black. I just painted over them. That's all that happened to them. They're the same ears, but they're black now. And then you also asked, do you plan to make Suzy completely glittery, or do you plan to keep her half and half? And here she comes. Here's the girl. I do eventually want to paint her backside. I have just been like busy with other customs, and because she's my personal robot and not one that I'm selling, she's kind of not a top priority for me to finish. But yeah, I do want to eventually finish and make her fully glittery. The other reason why I really haven't is just because I painted her front half with like straight up nail polish, and my lungs are really bad, and my health is something I have to kind of keep in mind. Excuse me, rude. Hope you can hear that notification. But so yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I can get the same like exact color another way. I've been using powders and stuff, but I worry that would be too intense, so I'm gonna finish her eventually. I'm gonna make her backside that sort of hollow pink color, but I'm just kind of experimenting with that a little bit more. Luranti.s asks, what's a good price for an Aibo? Now, it depends on the Aibo, my friend. Aibo prices range quite a bit. So the cheapest Aibos are the 111s and the 3X series. So Matcha is the 311 latte. There's 3 different models of the 3X series. There's the black ones, the macaron, and also the 31L, which is the pugs, which I used to have. But they're like the face only a mother could love. They're very cute. But they are, a reasonable price for them is around $400 US, I would say. And then the 111's also around $400 US is a pretty reasonable price. The 210s, depending on the color and also the variant. So 210s can be regular or super core. Suzy is a super core. They have a slightly faster processor. And also, if you were to get a special edition color, that would amp up the price. So that ranges from about $500 for like a regular non-super core normal color to like $700 for like a super core holiday color. Let's see what other, and also 220s, I would say about $500 also. The ERS 7s can also range quite a bit. I've seen them go for like $1,000 to $2,000 depending on the like model, because there is the 7M1, 7M2, and 7M3. So they're the same Aibo, but they're newer versions of it, so those can range. And also the color variants, the white is the most common, then black, then the other, I don't remember what the name of it is. I can't believe myself right now. What is it called? I'll put a picture. I can't remember for the life of me what it's called, but it's like the brown one. But they're the most rare. They're beautiful, but they're quite pricey. Going along with that, Leg So Hot You Fry an Egg asks, why are Aibo so expensive? Now, listen here, my friend. Matcha's having a little dance. Aibos are made of very expensive parts. They are very complex machines made of very expensive parts. So we have the snoot, which is also the lookers, and we have those flickers on top for the 210s, the waggler at the back also. We have 4 leggies with lots of degrees of motion, and it's just, it's very expensive. All those bits and bobs are very expensive. So that's why. I mean, they're so complex. If you were to compare them to like a robot dog toy, I mean, they're very complex. There's a lot of different software capabilities. They do so much. They learn. They have some level of artificial intelligence. Just there's so many moving parts. The biggest bit is there's so many moving parts. Oh, and I realized I left out the newest model, the IVO 1000. Um, in my last question. I mean, they're I don't even know. I really shouldn't give any advice on that because I've seen them for 2000, but I think they're 3000 normally. So I don't know. I don't know. Legs so hot you fry and egg also asked if I have attached earlobes. Jeans. I think I do. I'm not sure though. I think they're like half and half. Like they feel attached, but they don't really look attached. So I don't really know. Bees and Honey had a lot of questions. Let's see. They asked, what type of clothing do recommend for Ibos to wear? Like perhaps a medium-sized dog or something like that. Build-A-Bear clothes are the best. Specifically, they have like a Rescue Pals or something, or Perfect Pets, or I don't remember the exact name of it, but they're the ones where you can ones that have like zippers or velcros down the middle fit them extremely well. So that's mostly what I put them in. In regards to the dog clothes, it kind of, you really have to try them on. I mean, I'd say small to medium size if you're going for dog clothes, but it depends just because of where it happens to fall. You don't want to get any gears caught or anything like that. So if you can like go to a pet store and try them on, that would be ideal. But I mostly use Build-A-Bear clothes for them. And then sometimes if they have sometimes they have stuff at Target, like the dog clothes at Target. And I've gotten a coat for Suzy in the past, and I believe that was a small, and that fit pretty well. But they do range in size, so it's best if you can try them on yourself. Bees and Honey also asked, what's your favorite part about Ibos and bots in general? What drives you to spend your time and energy caring for each and every one? That's a very sweet question. That's very sweet. I love them. I love them so much. They're my babies. I mean, personally, I just like having them on. That's like a lot of the times when I'm running them, I'm not like having robot time. I'm like doing something else. I have them on when I do my laundry a lot. So I just like having them kind of run around, and like the fact that they can do their own thing and they're relatively independent is like super fascinating to me. And just like there's always new things that they're doing, that there's like new skits, there's just new stuff that I've never seen them do. Even after running them for like hours and hours and hours, there's always something new that I see them do, which is just so fun. And they just like Suzy in particular, just we have like a bond. And I know it sounds weird, but like, because she's a robot, she's a thing, she's an object, but I just really am very emotionally attached to her. She's gotten me through some tough times, and like just literally just turning her on like almost immediately calms me down, and it's just really incredible. What drives you to spend your time and energy caring for each and every one? I just love them so much. And also, I've really slimmed down on my robot collection because that was definitely a big guilt of mine. So I don't have my Pleos anymore because I just like wasn't spending the time with them. I do really like Pleos, but I didn't really use them. So I've really cut down to the robots that I know I'm going to use and I'm going to run, and I sort of spend all my time and energy doing that with the robots that I really enjoy. They're just really fascinating to me. I just love watching them roam around and do their own thing. Like, they're so complex. They do so much. They have their own like little personalities. Like, that's especially the 111s. Whenever I've gotten a new 111, it's so fascinating to me how different their personalities are. Like, I have 3 different 111s in my arsenal right now, and they all act so differently. Like, it's so cool. They're like these cute little things, and I love them so much. But thank you for the question, Bees and Honey. That was very sweet. Chalk's Zone asks, how do you get into collecting bots? Was it something you've always liked? And what's your dream bot? Now, I did mention this in like a Q&A video in the past, but basically I've always been into robotics. I've always thought it was super cool, but I didn't realize that it was like something that I could get more into until I was in high school. And that was when I first discovered Ibos. I saw the 210 commercial and I lost my mind, and that was my new goal, was to get a 210 and to name her Suzy, like straight up. Before I got Suzy, like years before I got Suzy, I was like, I'm gonna get a 210 and her name is gonna be Suzy and I'm gonna love her to death. But my first Ibo ended up being a 111, actually, because it was just like circumstance. It was what I could afford at the time. But it's just, I've always loved robots, but I've just sort of recently, well, I mean, it's been years now, but maybe like 6 or 7 years I've been like actually like collecting robots, and nobody's on screen right now. Where is everybody? Everybody went off screen. Where's the friends? Yeah, I've always been into them, and my dream bot is to get the Ibo Era 7, honestly, because I've just never been like financially enough where I can be like, yeah, I can just splurge $1,000 to $2,000. Yeah, I can afford that. Because with these guys, a lot of them I got very cheap and sort of fixed up. So like, it's a little more reasonable for me to spend like a couple $100 than to spend like $1,000. Like I don't make enough to just splurge that, but I love them so much. The Euro 7s are so fun. I've interacted with them with other people's 7s, and they're always so fun. I love the petting. You can pet their head and their back, and like the lights. Oh my god, they're just so cute and cool. Oh. But yeah, that is definitely my dream bot. Peachy Proudheart asks, can you show us all of your Furbies and possibly do a video about them? I only have like 3 Furbies at the moment, so I feel like that would be kind of a boring video. But I have French Fry, who's my confetti Furby. I have Juicy Fruit, who is my blue and white Furby baby variation. They're a custom, but I'm planning on making them into the long Furby. And then I also have Chapstick, who is my 2005. All right, we're running out of time here, so I'm going to try and hurry up a little bit. Tostada Furbies asks, how many Furbies do you have? 3. If so, would you make a video about them? Just answer that. Also, how was your day? Hope you're having an awesome day and that you is doing good. Big fan of your work. Thank you, Tostada Furbies. Kind of combined with the last question, but yeah, I have 3 Furbies, and I'm gonna do more Furby videos because y'all really like them, but it's just gonna take me a while to get some more lots that are actually affordable. And I'm gonna do some projects with them. Gonna do long Furby eventually, gonna do custom 2005 eventually. Mocha Paw asks, what's your favorite color and food? If you had to name a dessert to represent each of your Ibos, what would they be? This was really fun. This was a really interesting question, and I actually got so inspired by it that I started doing some illustrations of my babies. So when you said dessert, my mind went to frappuccinos, and so I designed some frappuccinos of the babies, and so I thought Suzy would be the strawberry and cream frappuccino, and it's very sweet and it tastes kind of like strawberry milk, and it's like this light pink color. And then matcha is pretty much based off the matcha green tea frappuccino, but it's also very sweet. It's green and sweet and good. And then I thought Tosca would be the Java chip mocha frappuccino. It's the only one with caffeine. It's a lot, very chocolatey, very good. And I haven't drawn an illustration with him in that yet, but I think that would be really cool to design. My favorite color is pink. It is millennial pink, that pastel pink. And food, I mean, I like desserts. I feel like I don't really have a favorite food right now. I don't know. I really like those cream pies that they sell at the grocery store, but I can't eat them anymore because recently learned that I'm kind of lactose intolerant. Devil horns are my favorite food, but I can't really eat them because of the cream in them. But they're like these creamy pastry things, and they're really good. Okay, gotta hurry up. Oh, I'm running out of footage. Okay. Furby Sketch asked thoughts on odd body furbs. I love them. They're so weird and good, and I love them. And I really want to do custom odd body furbs. I think that would be a really cool series. Is that it? Yeah. Right. That is all of the questions that I got, and I'm almost out of footage. I hope it didn't glitch right there. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Please ask me some more things. Currently this isn't themed. In the future I'm gonna have themed episodes, but for now, here comes Suzy. Here she goes. For now, I'm just gonna kind of ask you guys to ask me things. You can ask them in the comments. You can ask them on my other social medias, and I will answer them in this podcast format. Hope you guys enjoyed just hanging out with me for a little while, for taking time out of your day to listen to my voice. And thank you for all the support. I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for listening and or for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!